Hello, happy Friday. Natalie, the dear hairdresser, checking in this week. I was having lots of thoughts, as I always do. Gets busy in here, you know what I mean? I think what I want to talk about that I hope is going to resonate with people, because I think it's an important message, is recovering from being a people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser. And as I've been setting boundaries in my life and taking the time to listen to my spirit more and make choices for myself that are right for me, I'm shifting and sifting through a lot of emotional baggage that I've been carrying around for a long time. And in some of those bags are thoughts like, it's your job to make sure everyone is really happy. And if you're happier than everyone else, then that's selfish. I think maybe because I'm a sensitive person and there are other people that are really sensitive, I am more affected when people are in a bad mood. I can feel it, I don't like it. It makes me feel really bad. So I want to make that better. I want to change that, because not only am I then helping the other person feel better, but that makes me feel better, right? But what happens when you do that too often is you get stuck in a loop where your happiness depends on making other people happy. And that's hard to do, because your happiness needs to come from making yourself happy. And you've got to train yourself how to do that. And what that looks like is saying no to people sometimes and not having to explain yourself. That also looks like having people be upset with you sometimes. And there is kind of a secret about that. When you start to change your personality and tell people no, they don't like that. Martha Beck came up with this idea in a book that she wrote, which I should have more information on. I'll put a link in there. It's an idea that my life coach introduced me to, and that's something called the change back attack. And what that is that when you are dealing with someone who you've had a relationship with that always worked in the same way, let's say you were always doing things for them to support their happiness instead of for you, well, they get really used to that. And if you start to say no to them, they don't like that, because now you're forcing them to change and they haven't initiated that change. Also, they're so used to you making them happy, they also don't know how to make themselves happy. So you could see that that would be really frustrating for somebody. So what they usually do is get really angry, right? Or start to deflect and start to accuse you of the exact thing that they're doing. And that can get really confusing for a recovering people pleaser, because number one, you're trying to avoid negative feelings, and then you're getting attacked, and you have to kind of pause and think, wait a minute, is what this person telling me, is this really true? Or am I going to sink in to what I really believe and kind of hold tight on this? What I've noticed works really well for me is taking that pause moment, that thought moment, and taking as long as I need for that. And if I can remove myself from a situation to go out and pause and kind of think clearly, like, okay, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. And then I can kind of get back into that. But I still have problems when I say no to people or I put boundaries down for myself. I very much want to overly explain, which I don't have to do. Or I want to try and still please them. And that's hard for me. It's really hard. So I usually end up feeling really bad and guilty for a couple days. And then that kind of goes away and I realize that everything was fine. If this video resonates with you today, yay. I feel like it was a little jumbled and choppy. Shout out to my 2 new followers. Hey, thank you. And, my videos are still out there in circulation being watched, because I had a comment on one the other day. I did a video over a year ago called How to Say Mean Things in a Nice Way. And I guess someone liked it. So you never know, right? Okay, have a great day. I'm going to edit this together and we'll see you next week.